Well, I took the fender off the front of the Sportster. I'm just gonna elongate the holes on here. I'm using just a nice sharp drill bit on a pretty strong drill. I got a brand new drill set there. Just doing it the simple way, and you can see when you put this through, these through, you can bring it up. See? So I can move the fender up, I don't know, probably 3/16 of an inch, no problem, and that will give me plenty of room. Now, I don't want it too high up anyway. That's the thing. I just want it up just a little bit. And if this gets cantilevered, actually, it still wouldn't hit, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't have any play in there. So I'll probably use a little bit of Loctite blue to make sure it doesn't come loose. But it shouldn't. It's been on there for 50 zillion years, and just clean it up. So just basically, I'm elongating these. We're taking the drill and just going in here and taking out a little metal. It doesn't take long because it's a brand new sharp drill bit. It's not a bad idea. It's the simplest way to do it, and I can still have the fender hug nice and tight. Just clean this up, paint this in here. This little reflector back on there, and that's it. Yeah, I just cleaned out the inside of the fender. I'm not going to paint it blue or nothing, just getting some black and rust reformer, Rust-Oleum rust reformer. And I used like a Q-tip and went inside here where it's like metal, exposed metal. So this is a primer too, and a rust reformer. And I'm just going to use some Duplicolor truck van and SUV paint, just to paint a little bit of black in here so it don't rust. But you notice this fender actually sits up about that much. It's only in the center that it sits that close, not in the front or on the rear edge. It's only in the center because that's just how the curvature of this thing is. It's not going to sit like an 1/8 inch off the tire in the center, or only in the front, only in the not in the front or the rear. In the center, it's probably going to sit about an 1/8 inch off the tire. But considering it was just barely rubbing here by, actually I glued these back on, these two back on here. Considering it's elongated now by another 1/8 inch, that should give me enough room. So I got this sitting out in the hot sun. This glue this is Gorilla Glue. This should hold on here. I don't like using that weather strip adhesive. It doesn't hold up. It works okay for weather strip. For these reflectors, I'm using Gorilla Glue. That stuff stays on there forever. So I'm just re-gluing these. Well, I'll put the fender on right now and see if it's got enough clearance. It should. I'll jack it up and spin the tire around and see if anything rubs. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, because it doesn't need much difference. Actually, the bike looks better without the fender on it, but I'm going to put it back on. Okay, the fender's on. There's plenty of clearance. Actually, there's never been a problem with clearance on the edges. You can see there's plenty of clearance over here. It was actually right here in the middle, but now when you turn it, nothing's rubbing. It was rubbing just a little bit, and just enough I could bring it up another 1/8 inch or so, 3/16 of an inch. That was all it needed. It was only rubbing right in the center, so I mean, it wasn't like it was going to catch back here. It wasn't that tight back here. It was only in the center, so it couldn't have really screwed nothing up probably, but I don't like that, to tell you the truth, even though it was just rubbing just slightly. So no problem. Pretty simple fix.